welcome back to In the Christmas Kitchen with Pen. Now today I'm going to be making a vegetarian mains dish because I don't know, sometimes a nut roast can be a bit uninspiring or dry, dare I say. Well, I just did. So today I'm going to do something with a perfectly in season butternut squash. We're also going to be using some quinoa, and I've just bought this ready cooked, just has to be cooked for a couple of minutes, and it's red and white quinoa. We're going to make our own sage and onion stuffing, so probably got too much bread here, but here I've got some bread on a rack. It's about 3 days old, but I've had it out for a couple of hours and on the rack so it starts to dry a little bit. We've got a red onion, a selection of herbs, some of my favourite kale. I'm going to use butter, oil, salt, pepper, a little bit of vegetable stock, and the vegetable stock that I tend to use is this one because it tastes amazing. Vegetable, salt, pepper, margarine. Where the hell did that come from? Who's been watching Kay's cooking? Butter and oil. So to start, I need to cut my butternut squash in half. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll come back for the rest. Right, I've cut the butternut squash in half, and I'm only doing this for me. So obviously I'm just going to go for one half. And it was a bit of a bugger, as you can imagine, so I had to use my big Chinese cleaver to do it, but I've done it. And I've reserved the seeds in there because I'm going to rinse those and use those too. So my butternut squash, I have obviously scooped out the seeds, but I've left everything else as it should be. And I'm going to spray with a little avocado oil. And I will do both sides, and season with some salt and pepper. And then we're going to bake this in a 200-degree oven for about 50 minutes to 1 hour. Now I'm using my Ninja, which is a fan oven, so that's only gonna, well, I've put it on to 50 minutes to start, so we'll see. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get a smaller knife because it's safer, and I'm just going to cut into it just as if, you know, when you take out a what's the word, mango, and you cut your crisscrosses in, so just like that, just to help it cook a little, maybe not quicker, but it'll all penetrate. So in that goes, and I'm going to forget about that, unless of course it starts to burn, then I'll be swearing that I've forgotten it, won't I? Next I'm going to go on to the sage and onion stuffing, but what I'll need to do is get my red onion chopped, my breadcrumbs made, and my herbs chopped. So you all know how to do that, I'm not going to show you. Right, in my pan on my hob I've got some butter and some oil. The butter for colour and flavour, and the oil just to stop the butter burning. Okay, and I'm going to go in with my diced red onion. And I am specifying red onion in this because it's Christmassy and it's for the colour. And what we're going to do with these is we're going to saute these very, very slowly. Try not to get too much colour on them, but get them nice and soft. So we'll leave those happily going. Now the onions have had a few minutes and have started to soften, we're going to go in with salt and pepper. Which are sage and a tiny bit of rosemary because it got caught up, So we're going in with our chopped sage and our bread that we have cubed. And I will need to add some more butter to this because we want a really nice buttery stuffing. And obviously if you're vegan then you won't use butter, you'll use a butter substitute, but I'm not, I'm just going veggie. A bit more butter so that all those breadcrumbs get nicely coated in the butter, and we'll just leave that just sitting there doing its own thing for a while. And now we're going to go in with a little of our vegetable stock. And I want the bread obviously to soak up some, to become soft and just take on every single flavour. That's the important thing. We are adding lots of flavour, and I'm going to add a bit more now. And we're going to go in with our quinoa. Now I'm not going to put all the quinoa in because there would be just too much just for me. This will do for another day. And this is just to sort of rehydrate the quinoa really. Just needs a couple of minutes. I mean, you can see this stock is soaking up quite well. Now I do believe that Lidl sell their own red and white quinoa pouches, so it would be a lot cheaper than the Merchant Gourmet. The Merchant Gourmet is £2.30 at this present time in Aldi, no, in Asda, and £2 in Tesco's. So obviously, if I'm correct, Lidl will be much, much cheaper. And what I'm going to do now is just add the rest of this, let it soak in and switch off. Well, guess what, Wally? Forgot to press record. What I did, I took the butternut squash out and I scooped out the cooked flesh. I started off with my ice cream scoop and then went down to my melon baller because it was easier. Stirred it through the quinoa and stuffing mix. Then with the bit that's gone in there, I added some of the pomegranate seeds, so we've got a nice bejeweled look. This is going in the freezer. Popped it back on the tray along with the kale that I'd chopped and I'd sprayed in oil. The butternut squash will have another 10 minutes or so. The kale will have 5 minutes. I also roasted off the seeds whilst the butternut squash was in there first, so I'm just going to lightly season those and they'll go over the top. But the next time you actually see me and see the food, it should be a deliciously finished plate of food. Right then, we're cooked, but I just want to show you the kale, or let you hear the kale actually. Can you hear that? Nice and crispy. Hang on. Let's delicious. So, oh, that really is delicious. There is our stuffed butternut squash. I also, to the seeds from the butternut squash, I added some chopped parsley because that works really well. So I'm just going to sprinkle some of the crispy kale, which is so tasty, and all it's got is oil on it, on the top. Then some of the roasted seeds with the rosemary and some more of the little bejeweled pomegranate seeds. And there, oh, I can't wait to tuck in, is our stuffed butternut squash Christmas dinner idea. Well, it looks good. It smells good. We have to see if it tastes good, don't we? Right then, there it is. Let's tuck in. Let's get some of the butternut squash, some of the stuffing, some of the seeds, and if I can, it's all fallen off the fork, some of the crispy kale. Right, there we go. Oh wow. The sage and onion stuffing, you're getting Christmas. The quinoa nuttiness, the pomegranate seeds, just that pop of burst of flavour really, and the kale is just divine. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'd still want my turkey, but my turkey could be served with that. But if you are catering for a vegetarian or a vegan come Christmas, you could do, woohoo, nearly went everywhere, you could do worse than this. So, thank you for watching this episode of In the Christmas Kitchen with Pen, and I shall see you again. Oh no, I'm going to finish. If you like quinoa, you could use rice, you could use bulgur wheat. Cranberries would be really good in this because it gives that sweetness too. But I just like the tiny jewels that the pomegranate seeds give, and also we can just eat those, can't we? So that's it, I'm going now. Thank you for watching this episode of In the Christmas Kitchen with Pen, and I shall see you all again very soon. Bye bye.